Hello everyone, this is Ross from Retro Dream Beam. I'm a full-time eBay reseller. I've been doing this with my fiance for a couple years now. Before I jump into what sold for, I think it's Wednesday today, I just want to talk about a little bit of what we did yesterday. Nothing too much other than eBay, but my fiance did cook some Indian food and then also some corn with Parmesan and like butter and other spices. It was super delicious. I wish we could have more today. But we are already in the next day. eBay just keeps moving every day, moving on. Alright, first thing that sold is the Witcher Wild Hunt soundtrack CD. This sold for $10.80. This morning we had a return request on another CD for a movie. It was the soundtrack. The person, this is wild, this is the stuff that I guess like doesn't get under my skin, but just like it blows my mind. They thought that they were buying the DVD, the movie, even though everything about the listing was clear. It was even an old listing. It was clear. It's a CD. It blows my mind. So seeing this sell also today when I was pulling items at the storage unit, I'm also nervous now. Do they think that they're going to get the video game or no, because it says soundtrack up there? We'll find out. To be continued. This is $10.80 plus shipping. I've said this in my other videos before, we always do plus shipping for all of our items, no free shipping, so I'm just going to exclude it from the rest of the items I'm talking about to save both of us time. Next up is some miniatures by a company called Greenhouse Miniatures. I'm not too sure what these were. I'm going to have to take a really quick peek real quick. It looks like little like warriors. Yeah, warriors. We love selling miniatures like these, especially the metal ones. This is vintage. This sold for $18.90. It shows that this is a repeat buyer. I don't remember what they bought before, but it's always good to have a repeat buyer. So yeah, even without this being labeled, I just put down in the listing that just the company, Armies of Myth and Legend Metal Greenhouse Miniatures. That's all you have to put sometimes. You don't have to get super crazy if you can't identify an item. Someone will identify it as long as you have good pictures, or they'll just want it, or they're looking up Greenhouse Miniatures, they go, oh, that's the one I wanted. You can't ask for as much when you don't know what it is, but you can still list it. I've seen people like really get caught up in trying to figure out every detail of an item. You really don't have to. Here's another example of the similar situation. I don't know if you can see this, but this is 14. I think I put down javelin throwers. I actually didn't know the official name of this, what company this was. Oops, sorry, I'm dropping stuff now. They're metal, so they're not broken. These sold for $8.44. But yeah, like I just said, I put javelin thrower, soldier, infantry, metal miniatures. I had good pictures and the measurements. $8.44. Another example, if you don't have to stress knowing exactly what an item is to sell it, you can still list it. Just have good pictures. Next up is another Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man's Chest Blu-ray DVD combo, or maybe it's just this one's just the Blu-ray. I sold a different movie yesterday. There must be something pop culture going on with Pirates of the Caribbean. This is the second one over 2 days. Usually in my head that is now a trend. I know it's only a couple points, but for me that's a trend. I have no idea what's going on with that, but it's popular, so this one sold for $12. Next up is my infamous, I don't know anything about sports, but then I'm going to have a good sports sale. This is a PC game for golfing, Lynx LS Championship Course, Congressional Country Club. It's a mouthful. This sold for $40. This is a repeat buyer. I feel like I know this person, this username. I think this person collects different sealed and big box PC games. I definitely feel like they've bought from me before. One second, I'm adjusting the camera. So yeah, $40 for this is pretty good. There's probably was none listed. It was new, so I put a high price, and I'll even take offers. And yeah, $40 is good for something like that. That's something that I know most people would look at. They go sport, golf, garbage. They pass by. Hundreds of people will pass by, and we pick it up because I know those have value for the people that want them or collect them. Next up is more RPG books. This is Exalted, the Exalted game. It looks like 2 different books and then like a Dungeon Master screen right here. I don't know too much about this. It looks like magical, like fantasy slash a little bit of superhero, more action, fighter. I don't know. It seems like a little bit of everything. It's hard to tell. It's a little cartoonish, but not too much. It tries to be a little realistic. There's like details in the faces and such. This sold for $16 for a set of 3. Next up is I sold this before. This was my last one. This is a Retribution of Skryre Command Forces of War Machine hardcover rulebook. This is going to be, I believe, be an army book for the army. It's going to have all the rules for the army. It's hardcover, so it's nice. It doesn't get as damaged as much. It's going to have lore for the faction. This sold for $28. So yeah, I had a handful of these. This is another example of like a kind of dead miniature game. I don't know if they still make new stuff. Maybe a little bit, but this used to be hugely popular, but it fell out of favor. But it's still a full-fledged game for people can buy rulebooks pieces. This one's actually more expensive than normal. Normally rulebooks are probably like 10 to 15 to play a full-fledged miniature game. So it's cool to pick up stuff like that and sell them. Next up is a pin. It's been a while since we've sold a pin. We do have a lot listed, and we have had a lot more luck in the past with these, and we would still pick them up. This is just like a safety pin, like a blind one. I don't actually know the school program that this was probably a part of. We had DARE. This is not a DARE pin. This sold for $5. So yeah, we love selling small stuff like that. I wish we can get even more. I would love to just list a bunch, do another 500 item challenge, just pins. I would lose my mind, but it would be, they would sell well, and they would be cheap to buy. So yeah, moving on. This is Game Fix magazine number 9. These magazines, I believe, each had like a game in them. This one has like cards that someone has to cut out. They're going to be basically cardboard pieces, or like matte glossy paper pieces. So yeah, this is going to be like a war historical thing. As I've done eBay, I found out that there's only 9 of these, because I kept running into doubles. I was like, wow, like how many are there? Why do I keep getting 1 through 9 in there? I believe there's only 9. This sold for $12 because it had the insert unpunched. We like selling magazines, especially if they have inserts games inside of them. That's a bonus. I talked about this yesterday, my combo order. I was having like an awful day yesterday, absolutely horrible eBay day. One of those days where I'm like, why am I even doing this? I couldn't find the combo order. It was this tank miniature kit, plus this is what I found today. I happened to be lucky and still have the listing on my computer, because when I made this combined listing for someone for international, I got rid of my old listings which had the SKU numbers of where they were going to be stored. I happened to still have the listing up on my computer, so I was able to find this. If not, I would have had to have like talked to the customer because they paid the extra shipping for a combo order. It would have been a disaster because they were already sending me a bunch of messages after the ship's out. This is the second time I've dealt with this customer. This particular not finding this item was not an issue with them, but they just they've given me lower offers than I would normally want. And then I've taken them. Sometimes you just need a little bit of extra money coming in to keep eBay flowing. But I really don't want to deal with sending like dozens of messages for just like, this is $28, which is good. Like I'm grateful for $28. That is a good sale. But for a couple hours of messages in addition to having to store this stuff, it's not supposed to be like that. We are not, unfortunately, like a retail store where people can come in and have like this long tailed conversation. The upside of online is, as long as you list it well, picture it well, customer buys it, it's a cool transfer of energy. You spend energy into the items, they spend energy on their job, they purchase the item. It's pretty cool. And then you get to move on, and then they get the item pretty quickly, and they get to find all these unique items that they normally couldn't walk into a shop for, and generally they're probably getting a good deal, or they're thinking they're getting a good deal, because there's a lot of these items on eBay. So if they're choosing me, they like the pictures of feedback, who knows. But yeah, that's the point of it. So yeah, it's a little harsh, but yeah, it's probably going to be a block after this, after I ship it out. Yeah, because there's no more need for communication. Everything is good to go. This is incomplete. This one is new. It's wrapped up in there. I don't have to worry about any problems. If there would be, they would be making it up at that point. There were a couple items that sold when I was coming back from the storage unit, but those are going to have to go out tomorrow, so it's nice to have a little backlog of items that have sold. Like I said, if you like this content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you would like to help support us, everything does count, every bit of all the money, and all the purchases do help. Take a look at our shop below. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.